I'm joining Todd Berry, the head coach at ULM. If you have a question for Coach Berry, please dial *1 on your phone at this time. Coach, while we're waiting for questions to get in the queue, would you mind starting us off with an opening statement?
Yes, obviously tremendously disappointed in our play this last week. From the physicality to assignments to discipline, just didn't play as we've seen this team play before, and hopefully this will be a good wake-up call for this next week.
Thank you very much, Coach. Our first questions come from Dusty Thibodeau with WarhawkReport.com. Please go ahead, Dusty.
Morning, Coach.
Hi, Dusty.
I know Brian Williams is getting bumped up into that number 2 spot. What's some of the things you've seen out of him that have moved him up over the other options you had there at quarterback?
Well, as you're referring to, Brian Williams is our true freshman quarterback, and I think his command of the offense, his understanding, I think early on, how he grasped things, because he grasped things very quickly. Really good athlete. He's got a very strong arm. Very raw in relation to kind of coming out of high school, but his improvement from a daily basis, his work ethic, and then also I think just kind of how the team responds to him.
With Colton Brown likely being done for the season on the field, does he kind of keep up with the team as far as, moving maybe more into like a GA-type role, or do you have hopes of him possibly trying to get a 6th year?
Well, I think obviously there's maybe a possibility for the 6th year just based off of because of the injury early on against Oklahoma this year and how many quarters he's played, even though it necessarily doesn't fit the model, along with just some of the injuries that he's had over the last 3 years that he's been playing. So will that be something that we'll explore? It will. But in his current status right now, obviously he does want to coach at some point in time, and so we're going to kind of move him into that role where he can help me with the young quarterbacks, along with giving us a guy on the sidelines that everybody has some strong feelings about in relation to understanding what we're doing, to where he could be a signaler also for us.
Thank you much, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Dusty. And our next questions come from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Caller, please identify yourself and go ahead.
Hey, Coach. Chad Bishop from the Bowling Green Daily News. Just wanted to know what you've seen on tape out of the Hilltoppers.
Well, very, very similar team to what we've been facing really the last 3 years. I think one of the interesting things about this game is we have so many guys that have been kind of 4-year starters for us, and there's a significant number there at Western Kentucky that have also been, significant players for them for quite some time. And, we've had some just really crazy games over the last 3 years. But they're physical, they're playing hard, and all the things that kind of we've come to expect out of that team.
Playing on a short week, both teams got to do it. What are your feelings on just having a couple days to prepare?
Oh, I don't know that it's that big a deal. We've all been kind of working on these short weeks over the last 15 years or so, and so I think everybody has a pretty good idea about how they like to format it, and both teams have got the same amount of time. Sometimes that hasn't worked out in the past, where you have a short week and other teams maybe got a bye or something along those lines, and that's not very fair. But with both of us having the same amount of time, there's not a huge advantage. Obviously, I feel a lot more comfortable in relation to our quarterback situation, which I think not just impacts a normal work week, but obviously on a short week, it creates a little bit more angst.
Coach, thank you much.
You bet.
Thank you, Chad. And thank you, Coach. That's all the questions we have for you today. We do appreciate it.
You bet.